I actually feel pretty excited this morning. I think the £1 million from the Department of Transport and Chris Grayling is fantastic, and it's a real boost. But the other element of the excitement for me is it feels like we're sort of waiting to catch a plane somewhere. I expect someone there to come out of the corner and say, you know, your gate's ready to close, and off we all go. But then, looking at some of you, it almost feels like we're returning from holiday. Some of us have certainly been out enjoying the sunshine in the southeast, undoubtedly, this weekend. So my job is to sort of explain a little bit about why Transport for the Southeast. Why is this so important? So let me throw a few statistics at you. And the one that you really, really need to grab hold of, because I didn't quite realize this. In fact, you can give me a show of hands. Who likes bananas? Well, that's a good, I'd say, 75%. Did you know 2/3 of bananas consumed within the UK come through Portsmouth? Who knew? Who knew? So, Transport for the Southeast, let's understand this. It currently adds 200 billion to the UK economy, and it's forecast to grow to 330 billion. But the potential is for a 500 billion by 2050. And one of the ways in which we'll get that right is looking at our connectivity, getting our transport infrastructure fit to get us to those sorts of aspirations. The Southeast is the international gateway, no question about it. If you combine Heathrow, Gatwick and Southampton, it's 121 million people use those airports. 45 million alone using Gatwick, 2 million using Southampton, and these figures are growing. We know that half of all freight passing through Dover goes outside the southeast. So if you're in the north or you're in the Midlands, you need these international gateways. And more importantly, you need that connectivity. You need to be able to get your produce, your product, your goods, your services from around the country out through these key ports. Southampton deals with £71 billion worth of international trade. As I mentioned, 2 million passengers go through Southampton, and I know you won't forget that banana. 2/3 of the bananas consumed within the UK. Dover, 17% of the UK's total trade in goods goes out of Dover. Port of London, 55 million tonnes. Incredible, incredible statistics. And it strikes me, this drives home how important connectivity in the southeast. And you know, this relationship that we have within the partnership board, it needs the 16 constituent local authorities and the 5 LEPs and the transport operators and all the providers to be working together and provide this single voice. And we've got so far today, not just because of a few individuals, but the whole of the constituent bodies. You know, without the transport planners, without directors from local authorities, without LEP directors, LEP transport planners, businesses, local authorities, local plan providers, we wouldn't have been able to get this far. And it shows what you can do when you invest in the relationship and that ability then to speak with one voice, to attract and identify those priorities. We also know that connectivity enables housing development. Massive challenge within the southeast. Look, the southeast, 2 national parks, a wealth of areas of outstanding natural beauty, sites of special scientific interest. What is not to like if you live here? What is not to like if you're looking at inward investment within a region? This is the place to do it. Looking at some of the faces, undoubtedly, some of you are on our amazing coastline. Some of you are out in, I don't know, the New Forest, the South Downs, North Kent Downs, the Surrey Hills. It's a great place to do business. It's a great place to live, and it's a great place to work. But you all know some of the challenges. Who knows today? Anybody who's coming north up the A3 would have got stuck at Milford. And I know Network Rail work at the weekend was a real challenge for people getting to and from London to Brighton, real challenge for Gatwick. These are the challenges that we collectively can address. We've got that ability to prioritise, to determine what we believe is right for this subnational area, to get the economy moving, to support house building, and to improve that connectivity. We know that rail capacity exceeds its capacity at peak times, and we know that highways will be severely congested by 2040, but we know we need to get that connectivity right to enable that investment. We also know that transport can support deprived communities. Some of our coastal communities are some of the most deprived in the United Kingdom. And we've got that opportunity to make sure that connectivity unlocks opportunity, be that education, be that housing, be that inward investment. Unlocking that inward investment is key. And we've got that ability to do it. We've got that ability, providing we stick to our guns. We don't focus on the local. We focus on what's best for the region, for the subnational area. We understand, in the same way that Transport for the South East, when it first indicated what its priorities were for the route investment strategy, we said that Oxford to Cambridge Expressway is important. Although it's outside of our direct geography, it is important for a functioning economy and the benefits to the South East. So we have that opportunity. We have that opportunity. So that's why Transport for the South East is so important. And as constituent bodies, as transport operators, as providers, as local authorities, as LEPs, you've shown a willingness over the last 12 months to come together and genuinely speak to the Secretary of State with that one voice. The legislation's quite clear. The Secretary of State has to have regard to the transport priorities that a subnational transport body sets out. And with this £1 million that's come from the DFT, that gives us the opportunity to build upon the launch of the Economic Connectivity Review today, to drive our transport strategy, to set the priorities, so we continue with a booming economy for the South East. Thank you.